What's up, beautiful people? It's been a minute, and I am super grateful to be back. I know it's been a few months, but it's one of those times where we all have seasons between this documentary we're coming out with, between John's transition into being a married man, between everything going on. The podcast and some of the stuff had to take a little bit of a backseat, and that's something we have to learn in life. Is we can have anything, but we can't have everything, and we have to prioritize things. And so things are changing a little bit, and we wanted to engage the podcast again and bring the community back together and do all that kind of stuff. And so this episode is really breaking down the doc. I think it's super important because we got a really cool opportunity to create an actually objective, real, transparent, unbiased look at extreme weight loss. And I can 100% give the name to John. No question. Anti-Diet Diet Club. There's no question that came from you. And
appreciate it.
The reason why we want to do it is super important. So John, I want to get your perspective on and the solution that from your perspective and value, the doc is really going to take on.
So I think, when you and I kind of sat down and really mapped out what this doc was going to look like, we really came from the perspective as having to come in as fully transparent as possible. And I think that the project that we've put together really drives that force home. We put together a cast of people who were not afraid to get as vulnerable and as transparent as possible, which makes the whole process a lot easier. We really get to kind of strike a nerve about the real ins and outs of weight loss and going through this transformation and going on this journey as a whole, rather than just breaking it down into caloric deficit, eat less, move more. We've all heard that millions and millions of times, but now, we've gotten together this, I'll just say, this elite group of people, because they really are some just fantastic people. And we get them to share their stories and really have them walk us through the trials and tribulations, which I think is missing from a lot of weight loss docs. We take all facets of every journey. You're not just going to see a cookie cutter version of what a diet looks like. We have people like myself who, went the weight loss surgery route. We have people that have taken GLP-1s and weight loss medications. We have people low carb. It's all walks of life. Really sitting down and breaking things into bite-sized pieces and showing you a side of people that you know and love within this community that you've never seen before. And I think that this is going to open up a lot of people's eyes to a lot of different things within just weight loss community as a whole.
Yeah, because that's a huge one for me, where it's like that. I think that's what brought us together in a particular way, which was, for me, this ego behind nutrition, fitness, weight loss. Like, if you didn't do it my way, you did it wrong.
Right.
And what just drives me nuts is, like, here's me, I've been down 200 pounds for a decade now. And did I have weight loss surgery, take weight loss medications? No. Am I against them? No. Because I'm not a lunatic, egotistical a-hole that thinks that, oh, yeah, because you didn't do it my exact way, you did it wrong or easy. Like, it's just so disingenuous. And it's like, I'm here to help people live a healthier and happier life. I hope people understand, the name Anti-Diet Diet Club does not mean we're here to shit on vegan, shit on keto, shit on paleo. We're not here to actually harp on any specific diet, but to tell you that when it comes to losing 100 plus pounds, it's more than just a diet. Like, don't kid yourself. Like there's so much more nuance. There's so much more relationship with food and how people were brought up and all the emotional stuff we have to take on, that, like, to say that it's just about diet is so disingenuous, because it's just not true. It does play a role. And that's why it's super important we have, like, people like Lane Norton in the doc, where he can go from a science lens and break some of that stuff down. But then we also have Dr. Nadolsky, where he's going to come from the weight loss medication and the weight loss surgery lens and tell you what it is and tell you what it isn't. And so there's just something to be said where, like, I've yet to see, and I hate to say this, I've yet to see a truly unbiased documentary on nutrition, fitness, fat loss, general health that the world needs to see, and not just from a nutritional lens, but of a life transformational lens. It's like, I mean, when we go into the different cast members of you, myself, Levi, Dez, Dalton, Danielle, all of us we all have the same issues, but at the same time, we got there for different reasons.
Absolutely.
And so it's super important that we give that angle to it all. We talk about lifestyle, fitness, mindset, how you change your relationship with yourself. And so I'm looking forward to how that kind of goes all together. From recording, I just want to get your 2 cents. From recording, what were like the 3 days of hardcore, like, we're in the studio doing what we're doing. What were some of your favorite moments of doing the recording? The production so far?
Well, first of all, I think one of my favorite moments was definitely finally meeting Ben. Ben is going to be a huge facet of the documentary. I'm really excited for the viewers to meet him and learn more about him. So that was definitely one for me. Another would be, I think, getting the cast actually all in the same room at the same time was really awesome. Whether that had been at the studio or when we shot at the gym, that was awesome because I think for a lot of us within the community, we see each other as just profiles on social media. And a lot of the time, even we forget that, there's a real human being on the other side of that screen who has gone through so much in their life in order and gone through so much to change so many things about their life that they have this current persona. So to learn more about them face to face and kind of not live with each other, but be around each other as much as we were. That was really refreshing. That was really awesome. I think bonds that were there before were made, and bonds that were there were just made even stronger. I think we all know way more about each other now than we did before we did the project. And then another thing was just watching these people, myself included, get extremely, extremely vulnerable. I know I've said that a few times since we hit the record button on this, but I can't really stress enough how important being vulnerable and being as transparent as possible during all of this, how beneficial that is and how beneficial that's going to be to someone who watches this documentary, who might be fighting with their inner emotions, their inner demons, and they want to make that change. And they think maybe there's no one out there who's like me. There's no one out there who's kind of going through what I'm going through. And you're going to see, you'll be shocked. I promise. You're going to be shocked when you learn some of the tidbits and footnotes about some of the people that are involved in this documentary.
I think it's kind of crazy. I'm happy I didn't. I kind of regret it at this point because, me, I love knowing as much as possible in life. But no one actually listened to most people's individual interviews. Outside of Josh, the director, like, he was there for everyone, and obviously the crew. But the actual cast, I was in the back green room while you were being recorded, while everyone's being recorded. I have no idea what everyone said. I know there was a lot of waterworks between a lot of the group, but
well, that's what I'm saying. I just know that every time someone went from stage one and then came back to the green room, there was a lot of tears.
That's where it's super authentic when you come from that lens, and it's crazy that we haven't seen that enough within the traditional documentary space. And personally, this is more than a documentary; it truly is a movement. And this was something that Josh brought to the table that I thought was a really important add-on of, for example, bringing in Ben. Like, here's somebody and what we're doing where it's not just about, hey, look at the 6 of us and how amazing our transformations are, and we're so just friggin' cool.
Right.
Like, that's not the intent to this doc. So many people could have taken it that way, and it was through Josh's angle where it was like, hey, we need someone day one. We need someone that's beginning that's dealing with his own issues right now, that wants to make that shift. And it's crazy enough, my college roommate, Stav, his brother was the perfect fit.
Yeah.
And Ben is one of the most honest, wholesome, lovable people you'll ever meet. He just got put in a couple tough situations that put him in a position that just sucks. It just is not fun. And you get behind the 8 ball, and you need to hear about like how you could be in this exact situation that Ben's in right now. I don't want to give too much away, but Ben's progressing amazing over the last 6 months of starting his transformation, being a part of the relationship of food, a better relationship with yourself, building a fitness routine. He's been coming with me to the gym. I don't want to give it away. He's been doing really well. Not crazy. I think it's super important. This documentary is not about helping Ben lose 100 pounds in 6 months. That's irrelevant. Like, it's about helping people make an absolute shift in their value and lifestyle, that not only can they lose hundreds of pounds through learning the truth, dealing with their own issues, but do it in a way that they can sustain it and thrive for the next decade, 2 decades, 3 decades. And so that's been really cool to see. Where do you see this going, John? Like, from this documentary, where like the biggest like excitements that you're seeing as this documentary comes out? What are you looking forward to?
I mean, I'm just really excited for the masses to get their hands on it and to watch it. You know, ultimately, we don't know yet where this is going to be shown or streamed or whatever. But when that time comes and we do have that information, I'm very excited for just people to be able to watch it at home and take it all in, and maybe find a new perspective or a new outlook on just weight loss in general that they didn't think before. You know, we've said it time and time again on this podcast, and everyone looks at weight loss as just this very narrow-minded thing: lose weight, you know, eat less, move more, you know, get in the gym, change your eating habits. And it's just so much more than that. And I think that finally, for the first time, people are going to hear what it really takes from the mouths of people that aren't here for a puff piece. Like, they aren't here to drive home a product or, you know, to boast their own ego. If anything, I think we stripped a lot of the cast of their ego when we did this, and kind of we said that too, going into the soundstage. It was like, all right, leave your ego at the door. Everything else from here is just as you and genuine as possible. And I think that even the cast members, for the first time, were able to kind of peel back their own onion and present a version of themselves that they didn't think they were going to be in front of the camera. Because I got to be honest with you, once you're in that setting and you're really looking down the barrel of that camera, everything changes.
2 barrels.
Yeah, right.
There were 2 big ass cameras. Like,
right.
I'm like, these are big cameras, man.
Yeah. So like, it's one thing to say, okay, I'm gonna talk about my weight loss journey, or I'm gonna you know, walk you through things that happen to me. It's another when you show up to a soundstage. There's a whole setup. You know, there's lights, there's cameras, there's a crew there, and then all of a sudden,
our before and afters in the background.
All of our before and afters are there, and then you have a director kind of, you know, asking you these hard-hitting questions, or like even these simple questions that you didn't think would throw you for a loop, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh shit, I'm in tears. Or all of a sudden you have this memory that floods back that you've kind of locked away somewhere in the back of your mind, and you realize, hey, that was a pivotal moment in my journey, and that was a big reason as to why I got here. I think for the first time, we're giving real people a platform to talk about the hardship. You know, we see so much, oh, it's easy. You know, we see so much of that online. And I think for the first time ever, you're going to see a new, you're going to see.
Yeah. And it's like, I think there's some, again, it's what we hit so hard on within ALG and what we talk about. Yes, there are hard sciences. There's no question it's calories. There's no question it's you can't eat freaking Cheetos all day. There's no question you got to find a fitness routine you enjoy. But at the same time, the nuance is where everything is. Like
Right.
it truly is about lifestyle and nuance. It's all about what are the strategies, what are the ways that you enjoy that make this process enjoyable for you. And you have to be able to have those conversations with your ego at the door. And like it's crazy how so many people I mean, it's just the carnivore. I'm going to talk about it. Last couple days I've been clouded on the carnivores. Like again, the point to me is not to say you can't go low carb, not to say you can't prioritize using meat as for certain things, but don't tell me this is the end all be all. This is what you have to do, and if you don't do this, then am I a friggin' alien? Like, I didn't do what you said you have to do, and I did a pretty friggin' good job. Doesn't mean it's crazy enough that like when we come together with what most people would say is the opportunity for a huge ego. Right. All these people have lost hundreds of pounds, and when you think about that statistically, we're in the 0.01%. Like we are like there, you know how rare it is for people to lose hundreds of pounds and sustain it for an extended period of time. Even with weight loss surgery, it's difficult. Like there's no question about
Absolutely.
it. And so, but it's easy for the ego to take over. Like I'm so amazing. It's about my story. And to be honest, the biggest thing that I wanted to see out of the doc was like, there's people in situations that I couldn't even imagine dealing with inside this doc, telling their story, going from my lens, being 400 pounds by the time I was 18 years old, right. My lens is pretty simple. I just was never told no, and I could always get as much food as I ever wanted, and I just got behind the 8 ball. Like that's all it was for me. I can't even fathom the idea of the struggle that you went through. I couldn't even fathom the struggle that Levi went through. Right. There's other people in this doc that it's so disingenuous to say that my situation was the worst or like this comparison of what we do. And so building a community together like this, personally, I really see this scaling. I really see us taking this idea and scaling it to people all over the world, because I think there's something fascinating about that, of not only celebrating what we've all done together, like right. We all have the same story of extreme weight loss and building relationships and using social media as a tool to inspire others and to do this, but also the differences. Like I think there's so much power in hearing people's individualized stories, the differences and struggles that they dealt with, right? Because some things that I've said won't resonate with a lot of people. That's totally fine. I think that's important. There's things that John can say that no one else can say because of the experience he's dealt with and what he's gone through. Same thing with Levi. And so anything you've experienced from like so far with the doc of people of the different cast members, you're like, huh, I didn't know that. Any big like little.
I'm trying to think. I mean, so I think that I had
taller than I thought. I'm not gonna lie. I thought.
Like as far as that goes, see, you had a very you had a very unfair perspective. I will tell you, the first time I met Dalton, I said the same thing. I thought he was gonna be a lot shorter than what he actually is.
Des was exactly who I thought she was gonna be. Des is the same person on live on every social media platform as she is in real life. 100%.
Levi was great to meet in person, man. That's what Levi, I have to say. He is exactly who he is through every ALG community call, through every time I've talked to him through inbox. Like he's definitely the same person. So that really didn't catch me by surprise. That I was very happy about that. But definitely to circle back to Ben, meeting Ben, I think changed the perspective for me in the case of like, I've done a lot of projects, and you've done a lot of projects too, where it's like, it's always the culmination of everyone who's gone through the journey already. And we're always talking about the end result, right? And we're never really talking about how we got there in the building blocks. So to have Ben there, not only for us to kind of give him that wisdom of what's to come and how to get there, but Ben also served as a really good reminder, at least to me, of that starting point, and served as that reminder to me of why I've gone as far as I have and continue to want to go further and why you and I even wanted to do a project like this. I think I really, really, really do think that having been there changes the whole dynamic. It changes the message. It changes just how people will consume this. In my opinion, what the fuck do I know? But in my opinion.
No, I 1,000,000% agree. I when Josh made that comment to me going, hey, I love the fundamentals. There's a golden thread you're missing.
Right.
And like you're all celebrating the outcome. And that's great, but how does that serve everybody else?
Oh, and another thing that's... Oh, sorry, God. Yeah. I apologize. No, please. No.
Okay. Yeah, the one thing I was going to say was, I'll be honest. This is going to sound crazy to a lot of people that are early in their transformation, even at their weight loss goal, but they're still kind of dealing with their new selves. I'm losing perspective on 400-pound David. Down 200 pounds for a decade now. I'm losing some of that little bit of like, what was David going through 10 years ago? It truly is getting to a point now where it feels like a different life. It really does. And which is powerful. Like, obviously, like, guys, absolutely, this idea you're going to be scared about being like losing it. It doesn't have to be that way. But it also, it's dangerous because it's super important to understand why you did what you did and being able to be in the person's shoes. And that's what Ben did for me, is like really bring full circle back to day one David going, shit.
Yeah.
100% know that.
Yeah.
Like,
that's definitely what he did for me as well. Another thing also that, you know, we talk about in the doc that Danielle really shed a lot of light on is obviously transfer addiction and stuff like that, which, you know, I didn't really have a lot with, you know, so I couldn't ever really speak on that. But kind of hearing her out and hearing her story, and, you know, I'm not going to give any spoilers. Like, I want everyone to just watch this with, you know, clean slate. But you're definitely going to see this side that you didn't really think was there. You know, how you know, maybe food is your vice, and then you get rid of it, and then you fall into something else, and you're just like, how? You know, so it was really eye-opening to kind of hear her story and hear the things that she's gone through and is going through. Something that really also took me by surprise is how nice you people are in Michigan.
Oh, we gotta bring the story up.
Yeah.
So John comes out like 2 days early before main production, and he's staying at my condo before we all stayed in hotels downtown. And we go get and John was still doing work stuff, so like he had some meetings and stuff. So I was like, okay, how do we get some food for what you were gonna do, meal prep, blah blah blah. I had some stuff I had to get done, so we were just trying to make sure that we being a good host, I was like, okay, how are we gonna do this?
Yeah.
So we quickly went to Meijer. What's the equivalent of Meijer in New York?
Like Stop and Shop. It's just like a big supermarket chain.
High quality Walmart. And sure enough, 2 or 3 different times, got the grocery cart, grabbing food, and transitioning past people. Hey, how's it going? Have a great day. And literally, John looks at me and goes, "Do you know him?" I was like, "No idea." And I ended up having like a 30-second conversation with a random person, just shooting shit.
He had like a 1.5 to 2 minute conversation with some random woman down an aisle, to the point where like I'm doing my own shopping. I come back around. I'm like, where is David? And this man is just like,
do you know this person? I was like,
in an aisle, full blown conversation as if they known each other 100 years. And I'm like, dude, I don't know about you, but I was told don't talk to strangers. Like, keep it moving. So that was, I mean, and then there was that one day, and we had broke for lunch, and I remember I went with you came too, right? I think you drove. I think it was me, you, and Josh.
We got the sandwiches,
and we got the sandwiches, and everyone in that Jersey Mike's was just like the kindest person in the whole entire world, and they just wanted to have like a 9-hour conversation as if like this is normal, and I'm just like, wow, this is nice. Like, I haven't been cursed at yet today. Like, this is really nice.
It was so. Literally the manager. We're just chopping up, shooting the shit, just talking about life, and then we're talking about the doc a little bit, and like full on, just like normal conversation, like we've known each other for years. And John just like, why can't I just get my sandwich? Why? What are you guys doing?
Right,
we're talking. No, what do you mean?
And like, I don't want to paint this picture like New York's a terrible place and we all don't like each other. Like, there's this happens in New York too. Like, you just end up talking to random people and having conversations, but it's more like, if you're waiting in line and the cashier is taking forever, and then like you turn to the guy next to you and you just start complaining. You know what I mean? And then there's that little banter. It's not, oh, I'm pushing my cart. Oh, there's a sale on Cheerios, and then you have this full blown conversation with some lady next to you about
too.
Yeah, fact that.
And we were in line. It was a pretty decent line, if I recall.
Yeah.
And I was literally just talking to the woman in front of us, and like there's this, like, I don't know, we're like sixth in line, and you're just sitting there going, let's go. And we're just why are you just so chill about this fucking line right now? And I'm like, because why not? We're stuck here anyways. Well, we might as well just have a fun conversation about it. See,
dude, it's wild. That is not how I look at life. That is not how New York is. Like, I'm sitting there bugging out, like, why is this taking so long? I have other things I need to do. And Dave was just like, yeah, so blah 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 blah.
So how's your day going?
Yeah,
it's been going great.
It's going fantastic. Oh, so how are your kids? You don't even know the guy. They don't know the kids. Like,
no idea.
No idea.
Nope, never saw the woman again. But it was a fun conversation.
Never will. Yeah,
but
definitely.
She will remember me. No. What's going to happen is she's going to be on some major streaming platform in a few months from now, and all of a sudden, Diet Club documentary. This is super cool. Let's watch it. Oh, that was the guy I was talking about.
That was the really nice guy and the asshole that I was admire.
Oh, that's funny. I tell you what, though, from a team standpoint, I really got to shout out Josh, though. Like, Josh is the director. Like, I went to middle school and high school with him, and what he has done within like the back end, all of the tech side, all the production side. So like getting the audio teams, getting the visual teams, getting the set design teams, building it all out. I mean, he hooked us up. Like, he did it right.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said where Josh's past has been in like the music video space and that whole world. And I definitely know from like his heart and his emotion, like in real and transformative documentary and story is where he wants to go, because it's like
Absolutely.
It's impact. And so the entire time, the interviews, what Josh was doing, how he wanted to set the design up, how he wanted to how he saw the visual things, was like, it always came from a lens of, we're going to make $1 million, this, and this is going to go viral. No, it was like, how do we tell the most authentic, honest, impactful, transformational story we can?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and Josh did such a good job with that. The team, like all the camera guys, all the camera women, everyone, like, just, they were awesome.
And forget the like on location shoots. Like, wait till you all see the set that was put together. Like, it's gonna blow your minds, because I still remember that rush of emotion when we all first walked into the soundstage and we saw what the set looked like for the first time, where we actually be conducting the one-on-one interviews, and it was absolutely breathtaking. And there was definitely just some tears that were shed. No, I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to spoil anything.
By the way, I have your pictures.
Oh, thanks.
Because you weren't able to take them in time, so somewhere around here I have like all the big blow ups.
Oh, dope.
So I kept them all.
Sweet.
Because this girl and her team, who this is what she does, is set design work. She set up our entire production studio in like 6 hours.
Yeah.
8 hours, and like literally she was at the studio from like midnight to 7 a.m. doing the whole thing. Just. It's crazy. Like that's one of the things I'll say I've learned on life. This is on a tangent, but one of the things that I've learned the hard way is God blessed me with a really strong mind and ability to learn new skills and go. The problem with that is you can't make real impact by yourself. It can't be done. And like, as much as I love my what I like doing this stuff, I can 100% I learned through and through within this documentary is having a good team that has the mission at heart will always do better than one person. Period.
Yeah.
End of discussion. And so that's been really cool to see. Like, all right, this person is great at this. I don't even want to know. Just do, like, you're amazing. Go do what you do. And that's like set design, all this kind of stuff. I remember I was trying to be in the intricacies of the set design, and Josh is like, trust me, let them do it. They'll do a better job. And I'm like, but I need to know. And he's like, just trust me, it'll work. And I remember like, yep, 10 times better than anything I could have come up with.
Yeah, it was a great crew of people, a great team. Definitely. I mean, yeah, we couldn't have done it without them physically. We definitely couldn't have done it without them. So I think this is gonna blow a lot of people's minds, because it definitely blew my mind. Very excited to see.
And the trailer,
where it ends
I'm
up.
gonna say it. The trailer is coming out soon.
Yeah, so we'll definitely, yeah. I'm very excited for everyone, even myself included, because I have yet to see a trailer for this.
I've yet to see the trailer too.
Yeah.
I kept myself out of it. Like,
Yeah, so I'm very excited to see how the editing team put this together. Hopefully, I mean, I don't want to, say yes or no, but I'm hoping once this trailer is, finalized, we can actually put it out for the mainstream to kind of see.
100%.
It's off to market, and we'll see ultimately where it ends up and where you'll be able to view the final product. I can't wait to talk more about that. And then obviously once it's finally hit the airwaves and people have watched it and people have had time to consume it and digest it, we'll come back on here. We'll have another episode, because I definitely want to kind of talk about that perspective of, okay, now it's out. What are we hearing about it? What have people said? What would we have done differently? So that's going to definitely be a future episode down the line once everything is finalized, with where it's ultimately going to be streamed. So I'm very excited for that. David, is there anything else that you want to talk about when it comes to the doc in general, things or emotions that you have felt since putting this together, the cast in general?
I think the biggest thing for me is knowing that this is a movement in the set design of a doc. Like, I want to make sure it's known. Like we designed this doc with the idea and the vision and the intent that we could build a movement around it.
Absolutely.
Like, we can actually create global impact around the base core values of what the Anti-Diet Club is about. And so that's the biggest thing for me, and keeping that core value, impact over influence, and like actually making sure that it's not about any one individual person. It's just about helping people create that shift in their life. And so, yeah, that's the biggest thing for me.
Perfect. I don't want to give too much away. I feel like the more we talk about it on here, the more we're going to accidentally give away. So I'm glad that we got this opportunity to, first of all, make a new episode, because like we said at the top of the episode, it's been a while. And other than that, let's land this puppy.
All right, guys, have a phenomenal day, and we'll talk to you all later.
Be well, everyone. Thank